So a couple of weeks ago I went to this farm auction, and it was mainly, as it says, modern farm machinery and equipment, but as often in these sales the first lots are miscellaneous, and they always have a lot or two of scrap metal to start with, and then it says lots 1 to 79 miscellaneous spares and equipment. I bought 2 hay racks. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with hay racks, but I've got them anyway. And lot number 81 was 3 vintage pit saws, and yeah, I've never seen them before. That was my bidding number. It's a very, very long saw indeed. It goes right down to the ground. It's ever so long. It's a monstrous thing. Now this huge handle is fitted to the blade with 3 separate holes. It's very rusty, and my job is to clean it up, just like I've done the other one. Can you see that? And it's got a nice, very nice fitting with a little bar that comes out like that, and that, and it goes through like that and gets gripped by the bar. Gets gripped by the bar like that. So the first job is to get that out on this other one. I managed to get out the little pin. You can see how rusty it was, how rusty it is on that side, but I'll just really clean it up on that side. And I've just put WD-40 on this. Maybe it needs some oil on this side. The difference is very impressive, I think. How this would have been used, you have to imagine that below me there's a really big pit, and so I'm sawing down into the pit. The 3 holes are for different positions of this. 1, 2, 3. The technique I find, well, I've gone around the edges first, which seems more fun, because at least you get it started. And I find I'm using different actions with the angle grinding wire brush here, to get it in different directions, different actions to force the rust out. So on the web I discovered a British company called Thomas Finn, and they actually make a pit saw. You can see it here, and they charge £428.34, including VAT, for a 7-foot pit saw, but that price is for the blade only. They don't supply the what they call the tiller and bits. And they say on their website, traditional pit saws are used for timber framing large projects and were used in boat building and timber framed housing, predominantly in the 1700s. They are very specialist large saws for making planks ripping along the grain, used by 2 people, one on top of the pit and one at the bottom of the pit. And then they say, fun fact. Now, I'm not sure this is a fact, because I've read about this elsewhere, and the expression top dog, they say, derives from using these saws, as everyone preferred to be at the top of the pit rather than being down at the bottom of the pit getting covered in sawdust. So the top dog was at the top, and the underdog was at the bottom. But maybe these words are derived from some other source. on another website this picture of the end of the pit saw, and this explains something I didn't understand at all, which was, how could it possibly be that someone could pull on the bottom of the saw since there was no handle? But you can see from this picture that the handle was made of wood and so would have got lost or rotted away, and it needed to be removable, presumably so you could insert the saw into a slot of some sort in order to cut in the middle of a piece of timber. But as he points out in the information that he writes on his site, this one in the picture is actually the wedge is the wrong way around, and you have to look at these ones hanging up and the second one along to see the wedge being the right way round, because obviously it needs to be in from the bottom rather than the top of the saw, so that when you pull the saw it would grip it. Well, that looks pretty much done. I'm going to do 40. Now all that remains are the fastener. Very oily rag. It's important to do it straight away before the rust can start off again. Now that's everything except, I did this one off camera, I hadn't taken the handle off. So there's a patch here that never got rubbed down. So let's just do that and that will be finished. And now the second handle. It's the next day, this is dried up a bit, the oil's dried on it, so it's time to do the handle. Oh! So they're now all ready for the project, but the main project may be a little while coming. Thanks for watching and goodbye.